Hello there and a warm welcome to the news tonight, where we get you the day's top stories from India and across the world. I'm Tracy Shilchi and here are the headlines. Home Minister Rajnath Singh calls the situation in the Kashmir Valley volatile, tells Lok Sabha that defence forces are dealing with terrorists exactly as they should be doing and will continue to do so. In Rajya Sabha, government clarifies on the Uttar Pradesh government's order on slaughterhouses, says that legal abattoirs in the state are not being troubled. RBI deadline ends for depositing and exchanging scrapped 500 and 1,000 rupee notes for Indian citizens living abroad during November-December 2016. Many people, though, return empty-handed. And Supreme Court rejects the appeal to restore administrative and judicial powers of Justice C.S. Karnan. The Calcutta High Court judge alleges discrimination on various grounds, including his caste. Just days after the Budgam encounter that killed 3 civilians, Home Minister Rajnath Singh accused Pakistan of promoting terrorism in Kashmir Valley and luring youths to help the terrorists. Responding to the issue in Lok Sabha, Rajnath Singh said that the government is taking all steps to resolve the situation in the valley. Making a statement in Lok Sabha, Home Minister Rajnath Singh described the situation in the valley as volatile. He said defence forces are working to defuse the situation. Accusing Pakistan of promoting terrorism in the valley, Singh said that security forces are dealing with terrorists exactly as they should and will continue to do so.
और पाक स्पॉन्सर्ड टेररिस्ट बराबर जम्मू कश्मीर में दहशत का माहौल वह पैदा करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, और मैं यह मानता हूं कि जम्मू और कश्मीर में ही वह दहशत पैदा नहीं करना चाहते अथवा केवल जम्मू और कश्मीर को ही डिस्टेबलाइज करने की वह कोशिश नहीं कर रहे हैं, बल्कि यह आतंकवादी पूरे भारत को ही डिस्टेबलाइज करने की उनकी तरफ से कोशिश हो रही है। और मैं सदन को यह अवगत कराना चाहता हूं और हम सबको इस बात का नाज भी होना चाहिए, उप सभापति महोदय, कि आतंकवादियों को जिस तरीके से जवाब दिया जाना चाहिए उसी तरीके से उसी लहजे में हमारे सेना के और सुरक्षा के जवान उनको जवाब दे रहे हैं।
Rajnath Singh also accused Pakistan of using the social media to incite youths to storm encounter sites in Kashmir to help militants. His response came after some members in Lok Sabha raised the issue of death of 3 civilians in Budgam in firing by security forces. Trinamool Congress MP Shogato Roy had sought the Home Minister's intervention in Zeroa, saying the situation in the Kashmir Valley was grave.
Now the situation in Kashmir is so grave, I think the Home Minister should step in again. The Jammu and Kashmir Police Chief on Thursday asked the youth to desist from the practice of storming encounter sites to pelt stones at the security forces during raging gun battles with the terrorists. He described the practice as tantamount to committing suicides.
He said the strife-torn region was witnessing a new trend in which youths from nearby villages gather at encounter sites and pelt stones to help militants flee. The Home Minister also said that Pakistan-sponsored terrorists are trying to destabilize not just Kashmir but entire India. Ravindra Sharan's report for Rajya Sabha TV. Meanwhile, members in the upper house expressed concern over stone pelting incidents in Kashmir Valley as well. Shambhu Prasad Tundia of the BJP said that it was important to identify the stone pelters and prosecute them on charges of terrorism. Here's a report. Raising the issue during Zeroa, Shambhu Prasad Tundia of the BJP drew attention of the House on the stone pelting protesters near the encounter site in central Kashmir's Budgam district. He alleged that a large number of protesters pelted stones at security forces when they were engaged in an exchange of fire with militants during an incident on the 28th of March.
बाहर से आए हुए जो आतंकी परिवार है, उनके लिए उनके बचाव के लिए बीच में आकर के हमारे ही देश के कुछ लोग जो है वो गुमराह होकर रास्ते से भटक करके पत्थरबाजी कर रहे हैं, पथराव करके सेना की कार्रवाई में अड़चने डाल रहे हैं। उनकी इस सदन के माध्यम से कड़ी निंदा करते हुए मैं सभी से ये अनुरोध करता हूं कि ऐसे लोग जो देश में रह रहे हैं उनके ऊपर सख्त के सख्त कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए।
Meanwhile, Harivansh of the JDU urged the government to appoint a regular defence minister while expressing concern over some recent incidents of fire in ordnance factories.
जबलपुर में दिल्ली से आग बुझाने सेना की 3 टीमें जबलपुर गईं, सेना के सामने आज कई बड़ी चुनौतियां हैं। उन चुनौतियों को हल करने के लिए जरूरी है कि वहां कोई स्थायी मंत्री हो, कम से कम एक स्थायी मंत्री तो सेना डिफेंस को दीजिए।
In another zero-hour mention, Tapan Sen of the CPIM raised the issue of non-appointment of Lokpal.
Lokpal is not being appointed. It is being delayed and being encouraged by non-appointment of Lokpal in many states. Lokayuktas are also not being appointed.
Issues regarding security of whistleblowers and missing girls in Bihar also found mention during Zero Hour in the upper house. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV. And staying with Rajya Sabha, opposition members on Friday expressed concern over the crackdown on slaughterhouses in BJP-ruled states, especially Uttar Pradesh. The government assured the upper house that action was being taken only against illegal slaughterhouses in the state.
One of the big moves taken by the BJP government in UP is the shutting down of abattoirs across the state. But addressing concerns, the government clarified that legal abattoirs in the state are not being troubled. Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi stressed that illegal slaughterhouses would not be spared. He also drew attention of the House on the adverse environmental impact of illegal abattoirs.
जो लीगल है उनको छुआ नहीं जाएगा, जो इनलीगल है उन्हें छोड़ा नहीं जाएगा। तो इसलिए अगर वर्षों से और दशकों से इस तरह का गड़बड़ झाला चल रहा था, दशकों से इस तरह की अवैध और इनलीगल जो स्लॉटर हाउसेस है वो काम कर रहे थे, जो न केवल स्वास्थ्य के लिए बल्कि पर्यावरण के लिए भी खतरा था, तो अगर उसके खिलाफ कार्रवाई हुई है तो इसका तो स्वागत करना चाहिए।
The issue was raised through a zero-hour mention by TMC MP Mohammad Nadeemul Haq. He slammed the government for allegedly arbitrary clampdown on slaughterhouses in UP, Jharkhand and Haryana and dubbed it as an assault on butchers' livelihood. Several opposition members associated with Haq on the issue.
This arbitrary clampdown on butchers and meat sellers is an encroachment on their right to earn a living. The government should have drawn a roadmap and assessed the impact of such a drastic step before implementing it. अब तो हाल ये है कि सर चिड़ियाखानों में शेर और बब्बर शेर को भी मुर्गा खिलाया जा रहा है।
Meat sellers, especially mutton vendors in Uttar Pradesh, went on an indefinite strike against the statewide crackdown on illegal and mechanized slaughterhouses. However, a meat traders delegation met Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath in Lucknow on Thursday and supported the drive launched by the government against illegal places. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And the opposition Congress raised the issue of the pending substantive motion to discuss the conduct of governors of Goa and Manipur in the upper house on Friday. The House also saw Goa Chief Minister and Rajya Sabha member Manohar Parrikar attending the proceedings, and he slammed the Congress for protesting against the formation of the government in the state.
As soon as the House met for the day, Congress leader Digvijay Singh urged the chair to take up his substantive motion before the end of the current session of the Rajya Sabha.
जो सब्सटेंटिव मोशन मैंने दिया है उस पर आज तक माननीय सदन के नेता ने आज तक उसका कोई निर्णय नहीं लिया। आप मुझसे कई बार वादा कर चुके हैं, कई बार मुझे दिलासा दे चुके हैं, लेकिन कब तक इंतजार करें? अब बुधवार से हमारा फिर सेशन चालू होगा। कितने दिन बचे हैं? 2 दिन वो और 4 दिन, 6 दिन में कम से कम ये भरोसा दिला दीजिए कि इस सत्र के समाप्ति के पहले आप हमारा मोशन ले लेंगे।
CPM's Tapan Sen also urged that the motion be taken up expeditiously.
It appears that a vetoing operation is under process, so that during the left out period of the session, the matter could be dodged out. Yes. A motion has been, you have asked, he has submitted a substantive motion, it has been admitted, means it must come in the business.
The chair assured the Congress that the motion had been accepted.
You are reminding the chair of a pending business, about a pending business. Chair accepts it is a pending business and chair told you, chair will come back to you.
Later, during zero hour, Manohar Parrikar, who continues to be a member of the Rajya Sabha, made an appearance in the House. The former Defence Minister was sworn as Goa Chief Minister earlier this month. While the Treasury benches welcomed Parrikar's presence, Congress members entered the well and accused the BJP of using unfair means to attain a majority in Goa. Parrikar, however, refuted charge. recently held Goa Assembly elections, the BJP bagged 13 seats, while the Congress emerged the largest party, bagging 17 seats. The BJP, however, cobbled up the majority number to win the floor test. Parikar had quit as Defence Minister to head a coalition government, took oath of office on March 14th. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The deadline for depositing and exchanging scrapped 500,000 rupee notes for Indian citizens who were abroad during November-December 2016 ended today. But many people said that they had to return without getting their notes exchanged at the Reserve Bank. The government's deadline to exchange scrapped old notes of 500,000 rupees ended on Friday. But problems continued for the people, including NRIs who queued up outside the Reserve Bank of India.
गाड़ी में पड़े रह गए। अब लड़की की शादी 28 तारीख की तो उसमें लेकर अब देखा तो हमें तो दुख होता है। तो 4,500 रुपये कोई ज्यादा भी नहीं हम पे। तो
हम लोग प्लान बना के कल चले कि जुमा है, कल 31 तारीख है, स्कूल छुट्टी भी है, उस हिसाब से यहाँ बच जाएगा। आने के बाद पता चला है सिर्फ IR वाले का बजेगा, हम लोग का नहीं बजेगा। आने में खर्च भी हो गया और पैसा भी नहीं बच रहा है।
2010 से मैं बंद था जेल में। 17 जनवरी को 2017 को मैं बरी हो गया हूँ और उसके बाद मैं पैसे चेंज करने आया तो मुझसे एप्लीकेशन ले लिया गया, कहा आपको 2 बार बुलाया गया। बाद में अब आया हूँ तो कहते हैं आपका पैसा अब नहीं चेंज होगा।
NRI है, क्यों नहीं पैसे मिलने चाहिए? OCI इसीलिए बनाया है भी हम एवरी ईयर आते हैं। इंडियन इसीलिए ये बनता है कि हम इंडियन भी है, इसीलिए ये बनता।
The massive crowd deterred many people who stayed in India for a week after demonetization from exchanging their old notes. Many NRIs who work as laborers in West Asian countries were also turned away for failing to produce customs declaration certificates. NRIs, however, can exchange their scrap notes till the 30th of June.
जिनके पास ब्लैक मनी है उनकी तो वाइट हो चुकी है, लेकिन जो आम आदमी है जिनके पास अपने रुपए बचे हुए हैं ना, वो उनको एक्सचेंज करने में दिक्कत हो रही है।
तो हम नियरली 5th में इधर आ गए नोट बटाने के लिए, लेकिन ये लोग नहीं बटा रहे। फिर इन लोग ने बोला कि नोटबंदी 31 को 29 को होएगी, मार्च को उधर चेंज हो जाएगा, लेकिन वो भी नहीं देते। वो बोलते हैं भाई ये लाओ सभी है, लेकिन नहीं देते।
The government had issued an ordinance stating that only those who stayed abroad, armed forces, personnel posted in remote areas, or others who could give valid reasons for not being able to deposit the cancelled notes could do so till the 31st of March. The issue of the time limit to convert old currency notes is still pending in Supreme Court.
Deadline of 31st March is passed for the Indians who were out of country during the period of demonetization. But the thousands people are still hopeful of getting a single window to exchange their old notes and to save their hard-earned money. In New Delhi, with cameraman Shyamlal, this is Panchanan Mishra for Rajya Sabha TV.
Supreme Court today rejected Calcutta High Court Judge Justice C.S. Karna's appeal to restore his administrative and judicial powers. Justice Karnan was given a month's time to respond to the contempt notice served to him by the Apex Court. A 7-judge bench headed by Chief Justice J.S. Kher asked him to respond to the allegations levelled against various judges and asked him if he was willing to withdraw them and tender an unconditional apology. A defiant Justice Karnan in his response alleged discrimination and social boycott by companion judges on various grounds, including his caste. He also challenged the Apex Court to arrest and put him in jail for contempt and refused to appear for the next hearing. This is the first instance of the history of Indian judiciary where a sitting High Court judge is facing contempt proceedings and has a bailable warrant issued against him. The next hearing is scheduled for the 1st of May.
Not to attend the judicial work and administrative work. Without hearing my side, the honorable judges passed that impugned order, which is against the principle of natural justice and also against the prime articles 1421 of the Constitution. Honorable judges violated the principle of natural justice and the prime articles 1421 of the Constitution. As such, the honorable judges functioning and operating judicial power with malafide intention, besides possessing vengeance against a Dalit judge.
And now let's take a look at some other national news updates in Nationwide. Maoists attacked a railway station in Odisha's Raigad district, protesting against the proposed visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to the state next month. Around 15 to 20 Maoists stormed Doikalu railway station near Sambalpur division and triggered an explosion in the station premises. No one was hurt in the incident. A combing operation was launched in the area by the joint forces led by the CRPF. The Gujarat Assembly on Friday passed a Gujarat Preservation Amendment Bill that seeks to award life term to those found guilty of cow slaughter in the state. The bill also has provisions for punishment to those found involved in transportation and sale of beef or beef products. The decision has come ahead of the assembly polls in the state. The Supreme Court today refused to accord an early hearing on a batch of pleas pertaining to the Ayodhya Ram Temple Babri Masjid case. The court also clarified that it was not going to fast-track the matter. The Apex Court reiterated that the dispute must be settled amicably through a cordial meeting of all parties. The CBI filed a charge sheet against Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Veerbhadra Singh and others in the disproportionate assets case. This comes after the Delhi High Court dismissed the petition to quash the case. The court also vacated the Himachal Pradesh High Court's interim order restraining the CBI from arresting, interrogating or filing a charge sheet without the court's permission. With a quick break here, up next we're getting international news.
Existing antibiotics are becoming drug resistant. This is where actually we have huge amount of opportunity to work on. You can control the activity of telomerase. You can actually control your clock of aging. By the year 2050, 2/3 of the people will be above 65 years old.
Watch Eureka with Professor Shantanu Bhattacharya, Director, Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science, Kolkata, only on Rajya Sabha Television.
Raju Ki Baoli, located in Mehroli, is considered the most ornamental of Baolis in the national capital. It was built by Daulat Khan during the reign of Sikandar Lodhi in 1516. Raju refers to masons who used it. The entire structure is subterranean, so only the topmost story is visible as the visitor approaches. Walk towards its steps and each lower level slowly reveals itself. The top floor has a row of arched niches. There are 3 levels going down with 66 steps. The Baoli complex has a 12-pillar tomb and a mosque with plaster decoration on it. Carved brackets support the chhajja below the parapet. There are rooms behind this arcade, meant for shade and shelter for visitors. The Baoli combines Islamic architecture with hints of Hindu engravings and geometric designs.
Welcome back. Let's get to international news now. And 9 Malaysians freed by Pyongyang made an emotional return home today after Kuala Lumpur sent back the body of the assassinated half-brother North Korea's leader to end a bitter diplomatic feud. 3 North Koreans wanted for questioning over the murder also returned home on Friday. Kim Jong-nam was killed with a lethal nerve agent VX on the 13th February at Kuala Lumpur airport, triggering a major diplomatic clash between the two countries.
9 Malaysian nationals who had been held in the North Korean capital of Pyongyang returned home to Kuala Lumpur early on Friday morning. Their return came after Malaysia and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea reached an agreement on the dispute over the death of Kim Jong-nam, the estranged half-brother of North Korea's top leader Kim Jong-un, in Kuala Lumpur last month. In a joint communique issued by the two countries, Malaysia agreed to transfer the body of the deceased Kim to his family after North Korea produced all the required documentation. Part of the exchange saw the two sides also agreeing to lift the ban imposed on each other's citizens and guarantee their safety and security within their respective territories.
I welcome the return of the 9 Malaysians from Pyongyang, both embassy staff and their family members who were prohibited from leaving North Korea since 7 March this year.
The 9 Malaysians left Pyongyang for their homeland on a chartered plane which transferred in southeast China's Fuzhou city. Upon their arrival in Kuala Lumpur, the detained diplomats were greeted by emotional family members and the waiting media. One of those detained said that the travel ban ordeal had been particularly hard on their families.
When the DPRK government imposed the travel ban which prevented from leaving, we were very concerned, especially since we had committed no wrong. But we know that we had to keep our spirit up. I must admit that most of us were concerned that our parents and close family members particularly were worried about for us.
Prime Minister Najib Razak on Thursday declared on Twitter that the diplomatic crisis with North Korea was over. He had announced that the body was being sent to North Korea. Foreign Minister Hanifa confirmed the body was sent back to North Korea after being kept in a hospital morgue in Kuala Lumpur for more than 6 weeks.
Now that the autopsy process has been completed and the body has been returned to the Democratic People's Republic of Korea as per the family's requests, and travel restrictions on Democratic People's Republic of Korea nationals leaving Malaysia are also now lifted.
North Korea and Malaysia were plunged into the dispute over the death of a North Korean national at Kuala Lumpur International Airport on February 13th. Tensions flared when the North said Malaysia tried to hide the truth of the incident, while Malaysia accused the DPRK of being behind the mysterious death of the victim, who was identified as Kim Jong-nam. Both countries banned citizens of the other side from leaving their country after Malaysia expelled North Korea's ambassador in late February. North Korea then declared the Malaysian ambassador in Pyongyang persona non grata. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
Disgraced South Korean President Park Geun-hye was sent to 20 days of detention on charges of corruption. Park is accused of extorting big businesses for personal favors and abusing the power of the office. If convicted, Park faces over 10 years in prison. Here are more details. Ousted South Korean President Park Geun-hye has been lodged at the Seoul Detention Center. This after the Central District Court found her arrest necessary as there was a risk of destruction of evidence. Park was grilled for nearly 9 hours on Thursday on charges of corruption, bribery, abuse of authority and leaking government secrets. She is accused of colluding with a friend, Choi Soon-sil, to pressure business houses to contribute funds in return for political favors. Meanwhile, Park's supporters held rallies outside the court against her trial.
이것도 증거가 없이 사기 탄핵이었습니다. 그래서 대통령님을 구속하면 안 된다라고 여기에 우리 애국 시민들이 모였습니다. 이제 구속을 하기만 하면 계엄령 선포해서
Prosecutors now have up to 20 days to file formal charges and put the impeached president on trial. Though Park denies the accusations against her, if convicted, she could face more than 10 years in prison. In a dramatic fall from power, Park, South Korea's first woman president, became its first democratically elected leader to be thrown out of office in March. The former president was stripped of her immunity following her dismissal. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And here are more international news updates in Global Buzz. At least 25 people were killed and 65 others injured in a suicide blast outside a Shiite mosque in Pakistan's northwest tribal region. The condition of the majority of those injured is stated to be critical. Scores of vehicles were also damaged in the blast, which has been claimed by the Pakistan Taliban. The European Union has outlined its strategy for Brexit negotiations, suggesting talks on a trade deal. The draft guidelines issued by European Council President Donald Tusk argue for a phased approach in talks. The draft will be sent to the 27 member states for approval. It will then set the tone for 2 years of negotiations. Britain formally triggered the Brexit process on Wednesday. The new US Secretary of State Rex Tillerson renewed pressure on its NATO partners to step up their contributions to the alliance's budget to counter terrorism in Syria and Iraq. Speaking to the media in Brussels, Tillerson said that all 28 members need to guarantee the alliance has all the financial resources available. Tillerson attended his first NATO meeting on Friday, which was moved forward to ensure that he would be present. That's all we have for you on the news tonight from the entire team here. Good night.